Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Why Ukraine live stream. If you're watching this on recording, just know that it looks a little funny on the screen today because my monitor died, my external monitor. So I have to cram everything on one screen, and I have to resize my window. To do a live stream, you really have to have multiple windows open, and it helps to have them on separate screens. And yeah, that sucks. So today, hopefully, the shop will be open. I'm gonna go pick up a second monitor. Oh, last one. Thanks for joining. First in. Yeah, thanks. JP ATP Geopolitics was a big help. Big help. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked about it. 948 subscribers. It's amazing. It's really amazing. Thank you, last one. This is the big thing I'm working on right now. This is, if you want to know what my Shopify looks like behind. Hey, Irene, thanks for joining. Wow, it's great to see people coming in. So the back end of things. This is my big reveal today. Sorry if you missed it on ATP Geopolitics yesterday. For me, it was yesterday. Shere Khan, dude, haven't talked to you in a hot minute, my man. How have you been? I assume you've been in Ukraine, traveling around. Oh, Tony. Hey, Tony, how you doing, man? Shere Khan is here, so that's good. Yeah, so I was just telling everybody that my external monitor is not working, and I'm gonna have to go and buy a new monitor. Luckily, I found a used one here in my little village where I live, so I'm gonna go and pick that up today. Hopefully, the shop will be open. I kind of knew my monitor was acting a little bit funny. I just didn't want to bother with it, trying to save cash. Yeah, Tony. So this is the big news, like the big reveal that I've been talking about here, and it's not finished, but it's good enough for government work, good enough to show. I'm gonna organize everything so it's not just chaos, but I want everybody to take a look at the website here. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on news today, although I do have some important news to talk about. And the main thing is, if you've never seen this before, this is where if you are in the United States or Europe and many other countries, you can go onto this website and purchase items for Ukraine. For example, you could purchase armor plates. Okay. And the price of those armor plates is about $600. Right now we've got a total of just under $200 contributed to buy armor plates. If I can get, a few more $100, if we get up to about the $400 mark, I'll start looking for a set of plates. But where we've had the most success has been socks. So if you didn't see it earlier in the week, we had a successful delivery. Scroll down here. We had a successful delivery of socks to the ZSAU. These are super warm wool socks. Most of them are Ukrainian made. This is where you can buy them. And I physically go and pick them up in a city, in a village in the west of Ukraine where I normally am. So we had that this week. It was kind of the first successful beta test of the Why Ukraine, Shopify. So after this socks situation, last one, 958 site. It's growing. People are popping in. It says 948 now. Let's see, what is it? Is it 950? 951. Woohoo! Cool. Thank you. Thank you. Getting to 1,000 subs will make a big deal for me because I'm going to try and find a Ukrainian. I need help with some things. I need a Ukrainian video editor, and I need someone who can help with this. So this is the back end of the Shopify. I'm not revealing any secret passwords or anything here by doing this, so don't worry. But this is where if you had a Shopify, if anyone has a Shopify, you have to go through and add products. And there's a lot of different things you can do with these products, but I need to track inventory. For some items need inventory tracking. Some, so this is as this grows, as this gets bigger and bigger, this becomes more and more important. So after this whole sock situation and the socks were delivered, as you can see here, I asked my commander, so what do you guys need the most right now? And he said to me, well, what we really need are cleaning supplies. you know and if you think about it, just think about this for a second. Now Tony and I were both in the same barracks together, so he can verify the things I'm saying. Okay. First of all, a lot of people don't understand this. The International Legion for the Defense of Ukraine, all of their gear, equipment, except for weapons, comes from donations. Okay. So, like, everything here that I have included in this package: helmet, plate carrier, plates, boots, tourniquets, shirt, uniform. And there's actually a lot more stuff that needs to be included. This is just the most basic. There's actually a whole list of stuff that I will actually be putting up on the website. Little things like a compass, a gun cleaning kit, endless numbers of little things like that you have to carry with you in the field. So all of these things are provided by through donations. They're not provided by the Ukrainian government. Okay, and if oh shit, went the wrong way. If you think about it, that makes sense. Okay, it sucks for me as a foreign fighter, but it makes sense because Ukraine is struggling to equip and supply its own Ukrainian troops, its own Ukrainian national brigades. The international foreign fighters are kind of sometimes literally left out in the rain. Thank you, last ones. That's really cool. I would love to hit a grand tonight. That would be just absolutely fantastic. They need one of my purses. You make purses, Irene? Do you have like an Etsy or something? Listen, there's a ton of shops here in Ukraine making stuff like this. Grenade pouches. Different types of general bags and what have you. And so, that's actually kind of become like a cottage industry. And actually, on next Saturday, I'm not going to do a live stream because I'm going to be meeting with one of those shop owners in Kiev to talk about getting supply. Oh, I just have everything in my purse. Yeah. Yeah. Anytime I really need something, I guess I just go check my wife's purse. I should take it with me to the battlefield, you know. Um so the thing is that that type of stuff is really sexy, okay? And all these NGOs and how do I say? Uh charities and what have you that are bringing stuff to Ukraine, they all want to bring that kind of stuff. But soap? Like toilet paper, that's another thing. I haven't put it up on the site yet, but toilet paper. We don't get toilet paper. We have to buy our own toilet paper. No shit. What? Wait. Well, actual shit. Yes, shit. Um, it's a real freaking problem. And it sucks because some guys show up, they've crossed the entire world to come and fight for Ukraine, and they spent their last dime on a plane ticket, and they probably, I've heard horror stories of guys who, they lost their wallet, they lost their credit card. I mean, when I came to Europe before the war, in the first week, I lost my credit card and my phone in Germany. It was ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Awful. Um, and so these are, but they managed to get here, and they literally have nothing, and they're begging people for toilet paper. You know, I mean, it's and then when they finally get here, these are the toilets. Okay, this is what the toilets look like. So I'm just going to read to you from my description here. All right. In the training center of the International Legion, the toilets are just 4 rudimentary holes in the floor. They are flushable every 10 minutes, but have no cover and splash all over the person squatting, which I still am not certain how you're supposed to squat on these things. Um, and they don't really wash anything down. You have to do multiple flushes unless you happen to just perfectly aim right over the hole. It's going to just go everywhere. It's terrible. So they're a holdover from the Soviet Union. They're actually pretty common here in Ukraine, and I guess they pop up in Europe in general. But they're mainly in China. The Chinese love these things. This is what Chinese do. But they are just disgustingly unsanitary facilities that we all have to use. And they stink. There's no way to cover them. The smell just permeates the entire barracks, if you can just imagine. And if you've seen the movie Full Metal Jacket, okay, Full Metal Jacket, that barracks that they're in, it looks exactly like from that movie, except imagine that. So Full Metal Jacket is set in the 1960s, right? Imagine that barracks since the 1960s, since like 1968 or whatever, had never been cleaned. Just imagine that. Never been cleaned the entire time, and now we're in there and we have to clean it. Yeah, exactly. Last one, toothbrush detail. It's awful. And Tony had to clean this toilet. I had to clean. There's 4 of these. Tony's like, it's horrible. Okay, yeah. I'm probably traumatizing Tony. He's probably having PTSD. Like, fuck the trenches and the battle line. I'm traumatized by the toilets. Hey, Cheryl, we're talking trauma toilets today. Um, sorry, I know those of you who are on ATP Geopolitics. My God, like 8-9 hours ago. Don't you went into the woods? You actually went into the woods to shit? I had no idea. I mean, it's a genius idea, but I wouldn't know where to go because it was a mess out there. Plus, for me, being from California, going into the woods to shit, I'm traumatized by poison oak. Any of you who are from like California or the Western United States, if you spend a lot of time in like forests and mountains, you would know that poison oak is a really bad thing, and it's the worst. And I know people personally who have, squatted in the forest and accidentally, it's so easy to do. Hey, oh Herb, thanks for coming. Um, but I know plenty of people who have accidentally squatted in the forest, like in California or New Mexico or something like that, and right on top of a bunch of poison oak. It's easy to do, and because it looks like every other plant in the forest. Anyway, so I will do it when I need to, and I have. But anyway, so what I'm asking for here, and so what happened is I I was traumatized by this, but I was not going to just I wasn't going to take this sitting down. Actually, I was going to take it sitting down. What I did was I went and got uh, a foldable camping toilet. Something that looked like, well, come on. Yeah, something it might have been exactly this. Well, it wasn't black, it was white, but exactly this thing. Okay. Yeah, toilet paper is another thing that is going up on the website. I haven't put it up yet, but it's absolutely necessary. So, folding camping chair, that's like $50. That's a really expensive price. 950. No, 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 that's not. That's like $25. 950 grivna is about $25. Okay. And let me tell you something. My platoon commander and uh Tony can back me up on this. Our platoon commander, great guy. I loved him personally. He had IBS, okay, irritable bowel syndrome, and it was, I swear to God, it was like he had joined CrossFit. Except, yeah, Tony, you shit on this, didn't you? Many times. Or wait, oh no, you went to the woods. But lots of people shit on this. I bought this and brought it to the Legion specifically because of this problem. Because remember, I left the barracks for a couple of weeks, and because I was with another group, and then I got injured, and I tried to come back. And when I came back, I brought this with me. Um, and let me tell you, I could not have bribed my commander with anything. I could not have bribed him with any amount of gold. I could not have bribed him with anything better than this. I think he basically. I mean, oh Cheryl, you had to go to the hospital. Oh no. Well, please tell us. Hopefully, it wasn't to use the toilet. Um, because I got to tell you, hospital toilets can be scary too. Um, yeah, yeah, and baby wipes, are super important too. And in fact, on these toilets, you can't put paper down the toilet at all. You have to put it in this trash can here. We also had to change the trash cans every day in the toilet. So you've got these trash cans that are full of. Oh, oh, yeah, Cheryl. Okay, burnt poison ivy. My Before I was born, in California, my father and my grandfather, when they were clearing the family land in California, they were, just kind of clearing the brush. They had about 3 acres of land, and they didn't know that you couldn't burn it. And yeah, they ended up hospitalized for about 6 weeks. They almost died, because basically the oils in the poison oak or poison ivy, um, they will enter in. They become part of the smoke. They float around in the air. You breathe it in. You get that uh, poison oak or poison ivy in your lungs, and you can die from that. It's in poison oak and poison ivy in general are incredibly painful. having it inside your body as well as outside is truly stupendously awful. Um, so yeah, so basically, this going back to the wonderful toilets. My wait, can everyone hear me? Okay, I accidentally bumped my microphone connection, and sometimes that mutes me. Let me just check and make sure I'm not muted. Okay. Um, there we go. Great. Okay, yeah. So I bought this, and let me tell you, every time well, every time our commander took a shit, he would come by my bed or wherever I was, and he would say, "Thank you so much for that toilet seat. Thank you so much." um, so, but the problem with this is, you still have to aim pretty good, and most of the time, uh, yeah, Cheryl, the rash from poison oak. I mean, I right before I left, um, America, right before I left California, I got poison oak all over my legs. Um, it was, and I was like in Europe with poison oak. It was awful, and it covers. It can spread across your whole body, even. Um, it gets on your clothes. Anyway, the point is, enough of that. Oh, hey, Raybar, what's going on, man? Wow, hola, indeed. Got a Burqueño in the house. Cheryl, Raymond Ortiz here, um, is a old friend of mine from Albuquerque, and Cheryl, I was talking to you about the SCA, the Society for Creative Anachronism, the whole historical thing, and you would fit right in with that whole group, and especially since you're in. Did you say you're in Tucson or Tempe? I can't remember. Um, but there's a whole group there, and I'm sure Raymond. I'm going to do a whole episode where we just talk about that, because one of the reasons I came here to Ukraine, was to help start the local group. So yeah, so this was, everybody in the whole barracks. We only had one of these, and everybody in the whole barracks used it and put it on top of this toilet. It didn't fit exactly right, and because it was high up, if you, let's just say, oh, cool, thanks, Raybar. Yeah, hi, Davina, if you're there. um, really cool to have people I know, and oh, I spent my childhood in Dulce or Dulce. Yeah, that's down in the southwest of New Mexico. Super cool, if I recall correctly. I've been through there a few times. So yeah, so basically, most people, the first time they shat on this, if they didn't sit right on the chair, um, basically, it's very easy to miss. I know this looks like a really big hole, but it's very easy to miss this toilet. Okay, and I personally spent. Oh, mushrooms. Last one, yeah, dude. You just go up in the mountains in New Mexico in this September and October, and it's just shrooms everywhere. Just so you know. Um, yeah, dulce equals sweet. Yeah, dulce. Talk. Sorry, I'm getting my languages mixed up. C. Okay. Anyway, the point is, almost many of us had the experience of having to do a major cleanup when things, let's say, you've heard of shit hitting the fan. Well, in this case, the shit hit the wall. Okay, because yeah, it does. It was better than squatting, but not really solving the problem entirely. In fact, in some ways, making it worse. So I had the plan, which is I'm going to buy these. Okay, and I just cannot uh, explain how important this is. Now, this is, I believe somebody was saying a honey bucket, but here's what's going to happen. I'm going to cut the bottom off of. I'm going to buy 3 of these. Okay, I'm going to cut the bottom off of these honey buckets. I'm going to do that here in my home village in Ukraine. I'm going to do this work. Cut the bottom off the bucket so it's open, and it's going to have a wooden base with a hole in it, obviously, and the honey bucket will be attached to the wooden base with the hole, and that will sit on top of this whole disgusting toilet hole, this whole disgusting Soviet toilet hole. The whole thing will just sit down. It's going to be removable, cleanable, but and it will get dirty. We have special mops for that when we do our cleaning that as Tony can attest to. Okay, but yeah, so basically, you're going to set this honey bucket on top of the this the toilet hole, and it'll be covered. It's not going to smell quite so much, and people will be able to actually sit on a toilet like a human goddamn being. That's the least that the people. Oh yeah. Oh, Shere Khan. So Raymond Ortiz knows people who know you. So you should talk. You should, like, I don't know, get in touch with Raymond. So like Shere Khan, Raymond, just to let you know, Shere Khan is the person who bought the ticket for Tony. Tony is in our chat as well, but Tony is the sniper who is, and I trained with him, not as a sniper, but just basic training. I trained with him. He served for 4 months in Ukraine, and he's now in America. Wants to go back, and Shere Khan is buying the ticket for Tony to come back, and we're paying the rest of his travel cost through these donations. So yeah, so like Shere Khan knows Sir Alaric and a whole bunch of other people that you also know. So you guys should get together and talk, talk amongst yourselves. Anyway, so I'm going to build 3 of these toilets and send them to the training center. And that it's a big plus for me, so that when I arrive, oh hey K-Bell, thanks for coming. When I arrive at the barracks, I hope these things will still exist. I mean, the problem with the folding camping toilet, I'm sure that this has, if it is still at the barracks, it's probably been broken. It's not the most sturdy of things. Some guy could sit on it wrong. There's countless ways that these things could get destroyed. So this is going to be a lot more sturdy. So please, I would say, if you feel like donating, we need soap, dish soap, hand soap is what I've got on there right now, and then large trash bags. If you go in here and you see it says add to cart, that's fine. I'm what I'm putting in as the stock. See, this one says hand soap sold out. What that means is that I've only included a quote unquote stock of I think it was like 5 of these. I calculated how much hand soap a barracks full of dudes at maximum capacity would use per month, and yeah. Thank you. Last one just said, if you're 200 pounds plus, like me, I'm about 200 pounds. It's sketchy as hell on one of those folding camp toilets. Exactly right. Yeah. Sorry, everybody. It's a real shit show in here. But this is the reality of life in the army, and those of you who were who served, whether American Armed Forces or whatever, I'm sure you can. There's plenty of latrine duty stories and what have you. Um, I once, as a child, was at an air show and I saw an Apache helicopter land like right in front of me, like maybe 10 meters in front of me, and it knocked down a porta potty. Just the wind um, from the helicopter, the gust, whatever, and that was one of the most amazing experiences of my childhood. When you're like I don't remember how old I was, like 6 years old or something. It was like, wow, that was amazing. Anyway, so hand soap is obviously a massively, hugely important thing. Oh my god, I just saw I misspelled barrack. How I must have like cut that off somehow. It should say barracks, obviously. I'm gonna go and change that. I'm gonna change that live on screen so you guys can see what I do. Yeah, look at that. Here, hand soap for the barrack. Bulk. Ridiculous. Okay. Barracks. Save. Great. There we go. Now you see what I was working on for the past um uh yeah. Okay. Wait, K Bell, you're in Australia. So this is why you don't go camping, or is it because of all the like poisonous snakes and spiders and everything? One of the big things I've had some trouble adjusting to living in California and New Mexico is when I go out into the forest. There's freaking like rattlesnakes and poison oak and cactus, like cholla cactus. Um, if you don't know what cholla cactus is, for those of you who are not from the desert Southwest, um, it's big. It stands about up to about 2 meters tall, usually a meter and a half. Um, and they're all over the place. Ugh. Yeah. And I've personally, I remember with Raymond Ortiz, um, he and I went out into the desert like this with a big group of us to um, improve some land for a medieval event. And if you can imagine having a medieval like reenactment event out on land that looks exactly like it's in these pictures. So we went and Raymond took his truck and put a chain around the cactus and literally yanked it out of the ground. And then we had to uh, lift it with our shovels up onto the truck to be disposed of in an arroyo. And in doing that and lifting up the giant cactus, these things are like, a meter, no, a meter and a half to 2 meters tall and maybe 2 or 3 meters wide. One of the uh, branches for the cactus literally landed on my face and like scraped across my face. So I looked like I had gotten scratched by multiple cats. Yeah. Oh, you did a photo op among cholla. Yeah, exactly. So you always have to be. So I'm used to when I go out into the wilderness or the woods, I'm used to every just keeping in mind that like everything wants to kill me. If the sun doesn't kill me, the rattlesnakes will, or the cholla or the poison oak. So here in Ukraine, it's much safer. The only really unsafe plant out there is hogweed, which is awful. It's basically the poison oak of Ukraine, but it's really obvious. You can see it. It's huge, massive plant. I can show you what it looks like here. Google search for hogweed. And the rashes from hogweed are very much like poison oak, possibly even worse than poison oak. But they're huge, giant plants. Those pictures are awful. You can easily see them. So, yeah. Why is this guy standing next to a hogweed? Oh, no, terrible. Anyway, it's an invasive plant in many parts of Ukraine. Anyway, the point is, it was planted by the communists because they thought they could use it to feed cows. The only honey badgers are, I think honey badgers are from Africa originally, but I have a uh, friend of mine who has his own armor shop. He designs and builds this armor, and his brand is the honey badger brand. So he's probably one of the people I'm, when we do get enough funds on the website to purchase, like for instance, a plate carrier. We're about halfway there right now. I'm going to be going to him. This is actually one of his plate carriers, and this is his website. So, yeah, my friend on the Tohono O'odham reservation got thrown from their pickup truck into Choya. Oh my God, yeah, I can just imagine. He must have come out looking like just covered with it. Yeah, I've seen accidents that happen like that, and it's really really awful, really really awful. So, yeah, so uh, basically what we need here is just basic supplies. If you see something that says sold out, that means that we've already got enough for the month. Yeah, King Raccoon. Yes, I do. Do you know people building drones who could use 3D printers? Yes, the answer is yes. Um, please get in touch with me. Um, in fact, I have someone in mind right now in Kiev. Um, will the plate carriers come with a real honey badger? They will come with this honey badger emblem here. That is that is what they will be made. Oh yeah, 952. Yeah, thank you very much. By the way, guys, if you don't know, once I get to 1,000 subs, I'll get fully monetized. Then I'm going to try to get a couple of Ukrainians to help me out with the video editing and with the Shopify inventory. And that's especially important because when I actually go back to the Legion, I'm not going to have a lot of time to manage the Shopify, the website, and do the video editing. I might be able to make video and maybe interviews and things, but I'll still need help with on the back end. So, for instance, right now, so yesterday I did the big reveal on, yeah. So you have no dangerous plants in Australia, really? Um, okay. JP can give you my Facebook or get him to link you with Dr. Gerdes. Okay, fantastic. Shit. Why don't I have my notebook with me? Hang on. I need to write these things down. There we go. Okay. Okay. One. One. TP. Two. Swamp toilets and poop funnels. Yeah. Three. Wipes. Four. Honey badgers. You're making my list for me. Thank you. Okay, so Dr. Gerdes. Okay, King Raccoon. Okay. King Raccoon. 3D printers. Yeah, I'm going to be talking to Dr. Gerdes this week, and I might go on his show for Ukraine. Can you tell me approximately how many 3D printers you have and what size they are? That'll help me determine, because I have a couple of candidates. I mean, I'm directly in touch with working with like drone schools here, and a couple of drone manufacturers, small scale drone manufacturers who are trying to grow, basically. Poop funnel. Oh, it has that feeling too. Ugh. Thanks, satellite. Okay. Okay. Dr. G and or ATP. There we go. Okay. Fantastic. Wow. Okay. So anyway, so among the things that we need, so these large trash bags, I calculated like how many we're going to use on a monthly basis. So for example, I'm going to try to find some trash bags that have English labels, so you know exactly what it is that you're purchasing for, so it's more clear. But I just like this. I really like this picture of the sumo wrestler. just, I was like, oh yeah, that's fantastic. Um, uh, um, oh, that's interesting. When we did support for Greg Terry, people were offering them in live stream. Fantastic. Okay. Yeah. I need to talk to with Greg Terry and get in touch with him. For sure. The work that I'm doing and the work that he's doing is definitely parallel, and um, I know they're different, but not in competition in any way. So yeah, I absolutely know groups that can use those 3D printers for sure. Um, yeah. So trash bags. We use 2 trash bags per day. One in the kitchen and one in the front of the building, and we have to change those out every once a day. Um, and then I'm also going to put up small trash bags, the ones that go in the honey bucket here. We have to change those out once a day, at least. And then toilet paper. I want every soldier, when they walk in the building, every new recruit should get a big pack of toilet paper. In fact, maybe I can uh I'll send you a picture of what that looks like here. I mean, it's not pretty. Um oh man. No, I don't have a picture. Anyway, every poop on the like button, please. Thanks, Shirkan. Hero Slava, man. Um, yeah, every soldier who walks on the door should get at least one roll, and preferably 8 rolls of toilet paper. So a month's worth of toilet paper, because on average, everybody. That's a really good question, K Bill. Everybody. Uh, you know use should stay there about a month, and in that time, just on average, they'll use about 8 rolls of toilet paper at a minimum. K Bell had a question about why are there so many squat toilets in Ukraine. So that has to do with like where toilet technology came from. um oh yeah, here's a Quora article about it. um, Toilet technology developed on parallel lines in different places, um, and the squat toilet. If you look at Asia and East Asia, um, they traditionally spend a lot more time in a squat position just in their daily life. So if you look at people in India, let's see if I can. Oh God, I don't want to look up India squatting toilet. No, I don't want to look up squat exercises. Yeah, okay. So you'll see people in India just, they don't use chairs. They squat like this, and it's probably great for their certain like muscles, um, what have you. So, it's a natural human position. As a Westerner, we sit in chairs, and we. Oh, thanks, Cheryl. Thanks for updating us. Yeah, K Bell. I wasn't expecting it in Lviv, right? Because yeah, I totally agree. Um, so this is their natural position for just they're going to do stuff in their daily lives, and this is true in China as well. Um, and they'll sit there and they'll be playing dice or eating rice or whatever they're doing, and this is just their natural position. And in Russia, we have these things called gopniks, and gopniks are like chavs. Yeah, good job, Cheryl. We're proud of you. Um, what does this stream come to? I swear. But yeah, this is it's kind of just a classic thing to see. This is a chav or a you know um we don't really have an American term for this type of guy, but they wear Adidas. They're usually in some kind of a low level gang. They like to squat and drink vodka. That's the classic look of a Gopnik. And this emerged in like the 1980s, I'm gonna say, when American culture just started slowly seeping in to so into the Soviet Union, and Adidas was the first American brand in the Soviet Union, as I understand it. And wipe that like button. OMG. Yeah, antibacterial wipes. I'm going to add those to the channel, to the website as well. But yeah, so this Gopnik squatting. So this is just a very natural position for people um, in the East, in Asia, let's say, to be in, to use. And I read somewhere, really can't find the history of it, but I don't know if this style of toilet was developed in the Soviet Union or if it was developed in like the Russian Empire. So if you want, K Bell, I'll do some research on it, and I can do a live stream just dedicated to the history of the Soviet squatty potty. I'll put that on my to-do list here. I'm joking. Actually, when I have, I teach English here, online classes in Ukraine, and when my students don't do their homework, I don't give a lot of homework, right? But when they just completely screw up and like don't care and it pisses me off, I have a pre-prepared lesson on a comparative history of toilets where we look at like the deep inner workings of American toilets versus German toilets versus Soviet toilets, and yeah, and I make them go through all of that. So yeah, it's kind of a punishment for if you if you fuck up in my classes. Yeah, Squats in Downtown Busan is a great album name. Wow. Yeah. So all right. So anyway, so I'm this is the big reveal, okay, is and it's insane that we have to talk about this. It's absolutely insane. I was speaking yesterday with one of my students in one of my English classes, and they were asking me because they happened to be on my YouTube channel and saw some of this, and they were shocked to find out that foreign volunteers in Ukraine don't get toilet paper when they go to the barracks and they go to training. Now there are this is just in this first barracks. There are other places where we go and where we get sent, where there's like secondary training and this and that, um, where we do get supplies. But for you, at least the first month, minimum the first month that you are in Ukraine, the barracks, and I included this, the barracks that you're in look just like this, except with like 3 times as many beds in the same room. And you can just imagine how illness and, I mean, I don't know if Tony is still in our stream tonight because it's pretty late for him. But Tony can back me up on this. That a lot of guys got COVID or some kind of other illness. You got people coming from all over the world bringing their pathogens from wherever they're coming from. And there was one guy, nice kid. He did not know he had COVID. I believe he was from England. And he ended up getting everybody sick in the barracks. And it raged around the barracks for like 2 months. So, because it would just, new guys would come in, previous guys would leave. And, some guys had to go home because they were too sick. Some guys had to be hospitalized for periods of time, like almost a week. Our main medic in our group had to be hospitalized due to COVID. So we didn't have a medic for a while in our training. And so these kind of things, basic sanitation is just incredibly important. Okay, so that's the main news that I wanted to the main thing that I wanted to talk about. I don't have a huge amount of news to present to you. I am going to be doing. I hopefully, Tony, you tell me. Are we going to do our live stream at? Or it would be 12 o'clock Eastern time. Are you still down for that? 12 p.m. Eastern time. Let me know. Shit's getting real, yo. Yeah. So this is some things that actually, so you should know that here in Ukraine, I taught a computer class for Ukrainian teenagers, for high school kids. Restream censored my comment. Really? Because it said poop or shit or something? That is so strange. I think I can turn that off, but I'm not sure I can do it in the stream itself. I'm still kind of learning these things. But I'll turn it off, because if we need to talk shit, sometimes we just need to do that. But yeah, so a couple of, one of my students sent me this article, and then another one sent me this article, because I basically taught what I called oh yeah, cholera. Yeah, satellite. Yeah, I mean, it's a real, oh, okay, maybe because of the word fucking. All right, well, anyway, weird. Yeah, so this is something, this article is the one that I wanted to bring up here. So this is from a couple of days ago, but I still think it's important. So Russian hackers were inside Ukraine telecoms giant for months. So Kyivstar is the second largest cell phone company and internet service provider in Ukraine. And so they were mucking around in there from at least May of last year. I worked for a cellular provider in Arizona. Cellular One, it's in northern Arizona, Cheryl. I don't know if you have ever been up there, but anyway, it's kind of a third-rate cellular phone company, to be honest with you. Always type FKN. Yeah, okay. Yeah, oh yeah, you're counting down the days, huh, Tony? Yeah, so Tony is coming to visit. Yeah, gonna do some sniping. It's gonna be great. Yeah. So anyway, this is a big important thing, and basically, we know that they did the big cyber attack a couple 3 weeks ago, where they took down the Kyivstar networks and wiped all the databases allegedly and all of this stuff. It's all been repaired and rebuilt. But it says the attack wiped almost everything, including thousands of virtual servers and PCs. Um, that's a big freaking deal, to be honest with you. Um, I'm kind of surprised though that it was actually pretty stupid for them to act in a destructive manner and thereby reveal themselves, because as it says here in this article, and I'm going to make this bigger just in case you're looking on your phone or it's small on your screen. It says the SBU assessed the hackers would have been able to steal personal information, understand the locations of phones, intercept SMS messages, and perhaps steal Telegram accounts, perhaps maybe, with the level of access they gained. It would be it would have been much smarter for them to not reveal themselves and just stay in there, okay, and continue to use it as as a spy resource, you know. Um, and it says here, Kyivstar said, uh, no facts of leakage of personal and subscriber data have been revealed. I mean, maybe that's the reason that they did the big blow up, is because they couldn't get that. It's the only thing I can imagine. Why would they, you know, wipe all the databases uh, when it would be much easier, much more beneficial, I should say, and easier to just sit on that data and just watch it, soak it up, you know. Um, so it does, you know, point to this the statement here by Kyivstar. No facts of leakage of personal and subscriber data have been revealed. Um, so yeah, so this is a big deal. Um, he said the attack had no big impact on Ukraine's military, which did not rely on telecoms operators, and made use of what he described as different algorithms and protocols. I think that's a bad thing. I think that the Ukraine's military needs to be working carefully and constructively with these cellular providers and internet service providers to provide the kind of connectivity to create like a bit like a mesh network for drones. It's exactly what the Russians were trying to do. In other words, we know that they sent into Ukraine. They sent in at least one Shahid that crashed with. Let's see if I can find it here. They sent at least one Shahid that crashed with. Um, it had a Kyivstar a sim in it, and I can't. Let's see here. Shahid Kyivstar sim. Yeah. So here we got, these are the pictures. So it was a Shahid that was sent with a cell phone. This is just like, it looks like a burner phone, um, but which would have very limited capabilities. But yeah, so here's a picture of the Shahid that was sent, and you know, it would be smart if they had been coordinated enough to attempt to utilize. You can see they got these big cellular antennas coming off the back of this, especially it's like a specially modified Shahid. So it would have been smart if they had been using that um, in combination with their systemic hacking of this service provider. But you know, essentially using Kyivstar in the way that Ukraine's military should. And when I'm talking about this, what I mean to say is that um, a Ukrainian should be able to sit on their sofa at their home and control drones and blow up Russian tanks. Yeah, yeah, it's a top quality tape job. Like, wow. It's duct tape, man. I guess. And it looks like it was damaged and repaired with duct tape at least once as well. Um, yes, yes, exactly. And if you control the network, so King Raccoon said it would be hard because Sims only connect to one point, but Sims that could connect to many points, then you got a web. Yeah, so Sims, necessarily have to travel. Like if you're driving somewhere in your car and your cell phone has to stay online, obviously. So your Sim has to constantly jump between connection points, and it's communicating with towers along the way as it goes along. Um, yeah, yeah, it's a question, right? What does it cost per warrior to send a month's worth of toilet paper, trash bags, wipes, and honey badgers? Um, yeah, I thought about Herb. I thought about putting together just like a one soldier package. Okay, um, like everything a soldier needs to clean themselves. I thought about doing that, um, but from an ordering from a logistical standpoint, it's much easier to order in bulk. It's much more manageable to order in bulk because we're just talking about like for the barracks, for the training barracks. Um, and yeah, yeah. Oh, those Australian cardboard drones are lifesavers. Yeah, the package deal. I thought about going that route, but I decided that buying these in bulk separately would be better. But maybe I could do it that way. I could list it on the website as a package, you know, um, because the price could be quite low and people could do it that way. But for me, for tracking purposes, um, this is a thing. Like I haven't, nobody's donated enough money to buy a full package like this. Um, but logistically, for me, I need to go and like the helmet comes from one supplier, the shoes come from another supplier, the tourniquet comes from a different supplier, and then the plates and the plate carrier come from different suppliers. So, um, yeah, 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 wholesale. Yeah, eventually, if this continues, um, I may go. I'm thinking in terms of logistics for sure. Oh, thank you, King Raccoon. Wow, will do, sir. Uh, um, oh, in Victoria. So your name is Max? Your name is not K Bell. I'll try to remember that. I'll try to remember to call you Max instead of just K Bell. I mean, not that K Bell sounds bad, but Um, so yeah, so I just wanted to talk about the hacking. Um, that's to me, yeah, as a network and systems engineer, this is very interesting news. And then of course the other flip side of that is in Belarusia. There was a New Year's attack that wiped servers and did a lot of so this is going just back and forth, you know. And the thing that I'd like to just point out is my students who I taught computer, we called it the computer hacking class, and I taught them, this is before the war. I taught them, just the basics of computer hacking, where to go and how to do it. And it was a real shock for them because you can imagine someone teaching in high school teaching them. I'm like, you guys are going to learn it anyway, because why did you come to this computer class? You guys all want to be hackers anyway. So I'll show you how to do it and also how to stop hackers. Because as a network and systems engineer, that's my big deal. Oh, oh, okay, okay. Oh my god, okay. So K Bell says, I'm Max, I'm in Victoria. It said, "Oh, your name, K Bell. Your name's really Max." No, there's somebody in our chat, and I forgot. I'm sorry. I'm Max. I forgot you were in here. No, dude, I'm Max. God, I need more coffee. Holy shit, that was awesome. My name is Catherine. The message was for I'm Max. Mm. Oh, thank you. I needed that laugh this morning. It's good to be able to laugh at yourself. Sometimes if I didn't laugh at myself, I would never laugh. So yeah, I'm just happy that my some of my former students are active in these activities in terms of defending Ukraine and attacking Russia. Um, so that's basically what I wanted to get into today, guys. I'm just wanted to do a quick checkup because several times, at least twice now, while I've been streaming, there's been missile attacks coming in like down on my area, and I'm kind of out on the edge of town. I can't always hear the sirens go. Um, so I mean, there's a lot of things happening on the battlefield. It's not a stalemate; it is positional war. And the way I think about it, yeah, Herb, that's right. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. Um, the way I think about it is, the war is not a stalemate. It's more like the physical battlefield. You think of it as a fulcrum. Okay, think of it as the fulcrum of the war. Okay, just to if you don't know what the fulcrum is, the fulcrum is that green triangle. Okay, it's what everything sits on, what everything depends on. However, this war is occurring on multiple scales, on multiple battlefields, in the cyber realm. You know, in the political realm, in the international realm. It's not just happening. We could go to deep state, and I know a lot of. It's great that a lot of YouTubers who are talking about Ukraine really focus on the map because it helps people who are maybe not so familiar with Ukraine, get a sense of the geography. Um, you know, uh, and that's great. You'll notice that I don't focus so much on the map, and I, even though I, I'm was in training and will be an infantryman, I will be on these front lines, but I also recognize that there are other things going on that are pushing the battlefield in different directions. The political sphere, uh, uh, funding, international funding, um, all sorts of other things that uh, are pushing or pulling the fulcrum in different ways with different levels of force, shall we say? And so that's really the way that I think about it. I think right now, uh, Ukraine just needs to protect what it has until more funding comes through, and I just hope to God that um, I just hoped, yeah. Zelensky is a big lever of change for sure. Um, wait, you said it's for sale in so many markets in Lviv. I assume you're talking about the Putin toilet paper. Yeah, I bought some. I bought some. Um, so these battles continue, but the big levers happening right now are actually happening outside of the battle, and they're pulling this map in different directions. And these levers are happening in Israel, and they're happening in um, they're happening in China and Taiwan and Venezuela and in Washington D.C. And I just want to let you know that before I go here, that my ultimate goal is to get you guys together. physically together. Like, for instance, Cheryl and Shere Khan and Raymond Ortiz. Okay, I want to get you guys making these connections to where you can form like kind of offline. It's funny we have to say offline social groups. You know, whenever I teach teach English classes now, or anytime we have a meeting now in the post COVID world, anytime we have a meeting, you have to specify. If you don't say, I want to, you can't just say I want to have a meeting anymore. You have to say I need to have an offline meeting. Like before, it was the opposite. If you wanted to have an online meeting, you had to specify to say online. Now the assumption in general, yeah, the levers of changes are you. Thank you, Herb. So I want to have people start getting together in their social groups and talking about Ukraine. If that means if you happen to be in the SCA, maybe do a fundraiser for I don't know, for toilet paper for Ukraine, or just to help Ukraine in a humanitarian way, whatever it is. And then the most and Discord is really good for that too, and that's why I set up my Discord. But I understand that there are other Discords that are that are happening where these discussions are happening, and those are good as well, equally valid. Um, oh, I can't get Discord to work. Yeah, Discord is a little bit. It's not the easiest to figure out at first. Once you get in there, you're like, I don't know. And like with Kay Bell, I had to go through like helping her get in to the Discord for this channel. And right now, the Discord for this channel is a little bit, kind of dead, but that'll change, I hope. Toilet paper safety meeting. Yeah. So like for my Discord, for this channel, you have to, as of right now, this is going to change, but as of right now, you have to be a member of the YouTube channel to join the Discord. That is the situation. And I want to use the Discord specific. The reason membership is required is because I don't want to have trolls in there, and I want to use the Discord to discuss things that cannot be discussed publicly. It's a safe space for that, or an attempt at a safe space of that. And when you go in there in the Discord, you'll see there's an outer circle and an inner circle. And the outer circle is for people who've just joined the Discord, and then people will get approved to kind of join an inner circle, which is where the real secret stuff will be talked about. And that's an OPSEC thing, okay? And it sounds like a joke, but it's not. Quite serious. So there's that. I have some other things that I want to talk about, but I think I kind of want to save them for another day when I've got my thoughts more organized. The only other thing I want to say is some people yesterday, for me, what was for me yesterday, I don't know, depending on your time zone, on ATP Geopolitics, some people recommended to Jonathan M.S. Pierce, would you please put this whyukraine.myshopify.com on the permanent list of like donation links? And that is awesome. So Discord stopped giving me notifications, and the font went so faint I can't read it. Yeah. Yeah, Discord is it's a little bit Byzantine, or yeah, it was not designed with. It's not like they don't try to make everything easy, or maybe they do. I don't know. It's designed for gamers. That's really what it is. It's designed for gamers. Just regard Discord as kind of a game within itself. Let's see. Tony says, when I worked in Alaska, they had to show an informational video to the Africans on how to use toilet paper. Yeah. Funniest shit I've ever heard was a bro I'm out of water. Can you fill up my bottle? Yeah. Because, and this is true in Africa and the Middle East, they are absolutely disgusted by um, the fact that Westerners, for the most part, use paper to wipe their asses. They're like, that's awful. You can't get clean with that. That's terrible. In their mind, that's what they think. Maybe they're right. I don't know. But they have bidets or they have special bottles. Yeah. Jonathan M. S. Pierce is moving into the realm of my favorite YouTuber right now. Not just because I've been on his show. I mean, honestly, I offered to go on his show because he's like my favorite YouTuber right now. I want to come out with a ranking system, and we can all vote on which one's the best. Would you mud of a rug with a paper towel or a hose? Yeah. They use their well. That is definitely historically the left hand was considered bad because that's what people used to wipe with. Wow, you guys are all about the great toilet knowledge. Read from above from Paul. Problems with your PayPal. That does not surprise me. Okay. Problems with your PayPal. I have not been using PayPal, and I've not been. Yes, PayPal function didn't work. Tried some of the stuff on your site, but the PayPal. That's right, because I do not have PayPal connected to my Shopify. Thank you, Paul, for letting me know about that. I strictly have it connected to through the credit card directly to. I plan to get a PayPal connected, but right now I don't have it. But thank you. I didn't. It wasn't on my priority list, so I will write that down. Connect PayPal Shopify. Come on, learn to spell, James. I wrote Shopify. Ridiculous. Thank you for that. And your guys' recommendations are extremely important. I am taking them into consideration. For example, someone a couple of streams ago mentioned that it's kind of hard sometimes to find if you're trying to look for my YouTube channel on YouTube, because if you just type in let's see, why Ukraine, you get a bunch of stuff. Oh, wow, I'm first. Oh, that didn't happen before. Or is it just because I'm always looking for why Ukraine? So YouTube knows that I'm looking for, but people have had some trouble if you spell it differently. Oh yeah, so if you put why Ukraine, then I don't even come up here. If you anyway, so I'm gonna yeah. Oh, Gerdes, it sucks that he idolizes Ronald Reagan. Yeah, but he's he's cool about it. And he does, he doesn't, he attacks the anti-Ukraine people on both sides. And I like the fact that with Gerdes, Dr. Gerdes, I like the fact because of his knowledge and understanding. Oh, thanks, Paul. Thanks for coming. Let's see. With Dr. Gerdes, he has that perspective of. I like the fact that he's able to, in some ways, give that right wing side. And I mentioned on ATP Geopolitics last night that as a child I was raised up Foursquare Pentecostal. If you don't know what that is, it's like extreme apocalyptic evangelical. And there's a bunch of reasons for that. I'm going to do a whole live stream just about it. Reagan or Trump, only one woman for the job. Yeah, but I have a lot of insight into the extreme far right, especially far right religious mindset, um, and why they think the way they do, why they vote for Trump, um, all of those things. Yeah, Cheryl, I agree. I don't agree with his opinion on a lot of things, but I think it's important to be able to have dialogue with people who you don't completely agree with, and there are some people that I will have truck with, and some that I won't. I won't have truck with a MAGA head. I won't have truck with a neo-Nazi or a skinhead. I won't platform them. I won't have them on my show, and I won't go on their show. So I have limits. Um, you know, uh, and I won't platform a pro you pro Russia um YouTube or anything else like that. Yeah, evangelicals. Yeah, I'm gonna have a whole. I can have a whole discussion about that, and we can talk about the that whole mythology. Yeah, Foursquare Pentecostal is the most extreme. Yes, now you understand. Now you understand. Like I would say maybe slightly more extreme might be the foot washing Baptists. But yeah, we're talking, you know, speaking in tongues, rolling around on the floor, all that stuff. Um, anyway, so the last thing before I got a little bit distracted, the last thing I wanted to bring up, I want to help you to understand where I'm going with this website. I have a bigger ambition, bigger strategy with this, and it's not just for my channel. So on there was some discussion on ATP Geopolitics yesterday about putting a link in the permanent list of links. So I can't show you at the moment on my channel, but if you look on, oh yeah, there it is, store. You can see here um, on my channel where it says store. Because I'm in Ukraine, when I try to go to the store, it won't show anything. But if you're in America, and I believe in Europe, it'll come up with stuff here, and you'll see a bunch of products, and then you click on one of them, and it'll take you to this. Okay, any YouTuber who is monetized, in other words, you only have to have 500 subscribers, can set that up, and then you can go in and set up a Shopify and do this exactly the same thing that I'm doing to try to raise money for or support Ukraine directly. Um, Once I have this kind of nailed down, and I hope to have it nailed down in, okay, get my email off, Dr. G. I have some ideas about drones I want to bounce off you. Wonderful, King Raccoon. I love that. Um, so once I get this kind of nailed down and maybe do another beta test, get some soap sent to the barracks, and get this website a little more organized, um, I want to offer it to other YouTubers. In other words, other YouTubers who have this store option. If they have at least 500 subscribers, they all have the option to link a Shopify to their store. I intend, so like for example, reporting from Ukraine has a they have a merch store, okay, which is not linked, but maybe yeah, they have a merch store called uasupporter.com, um, which I guess it's been changed, but whatever. So you can buy like T-shirts and things like that, and that's fantastic. That's good too. But I want to be able to take this Shopify and go to other pro-Ukraine YouTubers, not just YouTube. It could be, I don't know, if you have a Facebook channel that supports Ukraine, or you have a I don't know, Twitter or something, Twitch. Okay, you can say, hey, this is supporting Ukraine, and you I can actually customize this, from my back end. I can create like collections and all these sort of things to where, you know, if you want to, let's say just to use the example, let's pretend that you are Jonathan M.S. Pierce, you are a ATP Geopolitics. You can, from your shop, from your YouTube shop, you can feature specific things that you want people to purchase for Ukraine. So, in other words, if your YouTube channel is you want to focus on supplying tourniquets, for example, then on the ATP Geopolitics store, they'll have different tourniquets listed there. Okay, ultimately, it will all go through uh, one Shopify, and it could actually even be multiple Shopify accounts. Um, yeah, exactly. Rather than buy stuff that goes to a fund, buy stuff in the area that and then is supplied directly, uses existing logistics systems, existing delivery systems. I'm not saying that the other routes, that the other ways are not valid. They are. But for some things, it just makes more sense to use this system and to use existing, people like Greg Terry and Norse Aid and the hundreds of NGOs who are driving things in on trucks into Ukraine. Those are valid too. In fact, if this works and can be scaled up either by me or by someone else, um, oh, thank you, Ozzy. All right, one day at a time. That's right. Yeah, 500 subs. Thank you. Yeah. Um, so, uh, Cheryl, I did try a Pentecostal church in my youth, but they wouldn't let me read Lord of the Rings. Yeah, that's yes. This is very interesting. We'll talk about that. Very very interesting there. Lord of the Rings and C.S. Lewis, all that stuff. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's another option. It's a yes, exactly. Not bad. It's just a different logistical chain. It's another way to and some people are not super comfortable just throwing money into a big pot and not knowing where their money goes, and they want to be able to track it all the way down. I haven't. So if you bought socks, you didn't get an email with tracking information, but in the future, if you, my goal is, and I know how to set it up. I just have to go in and do it. It takes a little bit of doing to automate. So you get when you buy something from my shop, you get a confirmation email. And in that email, I want that email to contain tracking information. Uh, you mean the Lord of the Satan? Yeah, yeah. Oh boy, I could tell you the stories of being in the church. Anyway, I will tell you those stories. Uh, but at the same time, there are some evangelicals who are really doing good work in Ukraine, and Greg Terry, arguably, I don't know exactly his religious. I know he is religious, but arguably would be one of those people. So, not everybody is 100% bad or good, except possibly who. Um, but anyway, so um, individual channels could support individual units, right? So let's say like Arturehi, for example. If Arturehi wanted, using this system that I'm creating here through my channel or otherwise, I intend to have a column on this page. Maybe the toilet column is not the one I should use. Maybe like this column right here can be a column for supporting a specific unit. Very soon I'm going to have a support links for the First Battalion Alpha Company of the International Legion. Oh, you're doomed. Left-handed, married to a Pentecostal, and working for a Baptist organization. Oh gosh. Oh, it's this. Then you should definitely come when I do that live stream. it will be relevant to Ukraine. It's not just going to be me talking about my experiences in America or something. Yeah, it's an interesting split, and the reasons for it, Paul. The reasons for that split of pro Ukraine or against Ukraine is also very interesting, I believe. Um, I was raised in a religious family, educated by nuns and brothers. 9 years old. It's you said you didn't believe. Wow, interesting. How interesting. Okay, come. Okay, when I do that stream, Ozzy, about the religious aspects of this war, please come, and I'd love to continue that discussion. Um, yeah, a Viking Buddhist. Yeah. Oh, that's funny, Herb. I'm a Buddhist as well, or at least I wear boots. Um, Buddhist. Yeah. So that's the basic idea. Is I have just have this little tiny channel, but other channels, and this can really be granular. So Artur Rehi has been doing a really great job raising money for the 69th Sniffing Brigade, for example. But I know for one example, there is an Estonian unit, or like an Estonian, maybe not brigade, but Estonian unit in the International Legion. His channel could raise money, and specifically gear for very specific things. Um, could maybe buy a bunch of tourniquets, or eventually on here I'm going to be putting drones, and I'm going to put night vision, all of those things. So Artur Rehi could have a campaign to buy night vision for the Estonian brigade in Ukraine. So that kind of granularity. So that's the end goal. That's what I'm moving towards, what I'm working on. And you guys are helping with that. My plan, if you go and buy, first of all, if you buy it, I need those toilet seats this week. So if it says add to cart, so basically I'm only going to purchase, I think I'm only going to purchase 3 of them, because we only have 4 toilets in the, I might buy like a couple extra just in case one of them gets broken or something. But then I'm going to basically build these things this week and then send them. So this is probably the most pressing need right now. But these other things, if you go in there and it says sold out, remember that just means that we have enough of that stuff for a month. So like people have bought enough hand soap, but we need dish soap. Soon I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna put floor cleaner on here, and then toilet cleaner, and then and toilet paper, and wipes, baby wipes, and it'll each one, like for the toilet paper, it'll be enough toilet paper for one soldier, and then you can buy as many of those as you want, up to, I think I'll set the limit at about 100. Not 100 rolls, but 100 packs of 8 rolls. Anyway, so those are details that you don't care about, probably. Thank you, Tony, for coming. Yeah, I'm gonna end this stream now. Thanks, everybody. If you're on Facebook and you joined, please make a comment in the Facebook for this. If you did happen to join on Facebook, I'd really like to see who joined, if anyone. And I just want to say thank you all for coming. Thank you for the donations and for the help and the support. And it gets me through the days, actually, just knowing that somebody out there gives a shit. So Slava Ukraine, do pobачення, and have a great weekend, everyone.